Thomas Edison is considered to be the father of electricity and invention. Known to many as the greatest inventor ever to live, he is responsible for giving us the phonograph, the telephone speaker transmitter, the stencil duplicator, the movie player, and the world's first industrial research laboratory. But what he is most famous for is doing the impossible to create the first electric light bulb. Thomas Edison accomplished so much in life and ended up having made a fortune. But it wasn't always that way for Thomas Alva Edison. Tom was born on February 11, 1847 in Milan, Ohio, to Samuel and Nancy Edison. He started slow at first and didn't even speak until about age 4, but after that, things started to take off for Tom. He started reading every book he could get his hands on, and if he saw something new, he wanted to know exactly how it worked. This didn't always end up too good, though. At age 7, his teacher had got sick of his constant questions and had began to make fun of Thomas, saying that he had scrambled brains. Thomas had lasted 3 months in school before he dropped out and was homeschooled by his mother from then on. Tom soon gave up on education given from others and instead relied on books for all of his knowledge in life. At age 12, Tom began his first job selling newspapers to people at the train station. He soon became very popular with the newspaper selling and was promoted to be allowed access on the train, and he started to write his own newspaper articles. One day, everything went wrong though, as he was experimenting on the train and he caused a fire. The conductor was furious with him and hit him upside the head, partially causing the hearing problems later in life that Edison had faced. In 1866, Tom, now at age 19, moved to Louisville, Kentucky, and started working for a newspaper, the Associated Press. Tom still made times for experimenting and reading. 2 years later, Tom left Louisville on a journey home. It was then that he realized that his mother was extremely ill and his father was out of work. Tom knew something had to be done, so he quit his job at Associated Press and entered a new job at Western Union Company. He moved to New York for company needs, and here his inventing career took off. In New York, Tom struggled at first. He was paid very little and almost starved to death once or twice. But once he had made his improved stock ticker, he would never be hungry again. The stock company was so impressed with the invention, they had paid him $40,000 for the rights to the stock ticker. After that, Tom quit his job and moved to Newark, New Jersey to become a full-time inventor. Here at Newark, Tom set up a small factory hiring a few mechanists. Edison had a good partnership and a good rivalry with the Western Union Company. Often Tom would sell his products right to the company, but occasionally he would sell to other companies, angering Western Union. For instance, in 1870, Tom had created a machine that was able to transmit 2 signals in one direction on one cord. Right when Western Union was about to buy it, Jay Gould from Railroad Company bought it for $1,000 in cash and stocks. Soon Tom was making huge money. In 1871, at age 24, Tom got married to 16-year-old Mary Stillwell and had 3 children. The marriage didn't last too long though, as 13 years later, at age 29, Mary died of a brain tumor. Now Edison began working on the first electric light bulb. For most who heard of the idea, it was considered impossible and a waste of time. Edison tried and tried and tried, but he could not figure out the secret of the light bulb. When finally, in 1779, there was a breakthrough. The jaws of millions dropped as Edison seemed to have broke the laws of physics and invented a long-lasting electric source of light. In 1880, Thomas was granted a patent on the first electric light bulb. Soon after, in 1886, Tom got remarried to Mina Miller. After that, Tom's career started to slow down, as his main job was to head the Edison Lighting Company. As Edison got older and older, his inventions seemed to get crazier and crazier. Edison designed a house made completely of cement. This failed miserably. He also designed talking dolls with phonographs inside them, which you twisted the motor in the back to make them talk. They wore out easily, and this also failed miserably. And the craziest of all the devices was Edison's device to communicate with the dead, which was a complete and utter failure. Soon Thomas had almost completely lost his hearing and his good ideas. On October 18th, 1931, at age 84, Thomas Edison died of trouble with diabetes. He will forever go down in American history, and this is why. Thomas Edison is responsible for just about everything that we see in our daily lives. It is hard to think about, but would we even have these computers today and be making these presentations if Thomas Edison hadn't been there to invent the light bulb? When you think about it, you can almost point to anything electronic and tie it back to Thomas Edison, and this is why he is so important. Technology is such a big part of life in America. Almost no one would be able to do anything without it. Thomas Edison is also responsible for the music and recording technology that we have today. Without his phonograph, would we have the music we have today? Or the bigger question is, would we even have any music at all? Finally, Edison also created the first music player, which I'm not even going to start on, along with over 1,000 other patented items. So when you think about putting Edison into the Hall of Fame, think where would we be without him?